He who becomes spiritually qualitative is a man of wisdom, is a man of intelligence. He alone can be called as man who is alive, who has the holistic awareness, whose consciousness is not fractured. So that is probably the meaning and purpose of this cycle of incarnations. Soon after we become holistic in our consciousness, probably I don't think he requires any more physical bodies to continue the journey. Till then, till we become holistic, we need to unravel this hidden wisdom. Truth has polarity. Truth is a paradox. Truth cannot be explained with one perspective. Truth cannot be explained from one dimension. Whenever whomsoever it tries to define truth, that this is truth, as if it is a conclusion, it can never be a truth. It can never be. Truth cannot be explained or defined in a very conclusive way. As I told, it is a process, continuous process, perennial process, never ends at all. So, when our feet are on the so-called path of exploring the truth, probably we are the most truthful beings. So, let us explore the polarity or paradoxical aspects of truth. I would like to give some examples here. There are some people who always appreciate for every trivial thing, very small thing, very insignificant thing. Usually we see in organizations, the organizational leaders go on, keep you on full appreciation, blown out of proportion. For me, flattery or excessive appreciation is an insult. But we unfortunately are becoming victims of this appreciation addiction. We are becoming addicts to appreciation. We need appreciation. If nobody is appreciating, we feel that we are deprived. We feel we are deficient. We feel we have lacuna inside. We are hollow inside. So our true happiness is becoming dependent. We need another stamp. So we go on seeking others' appreciation by drawing attention, by doing some good favors, just for the sake of appreciation. So he who flatters you, he who blows you with appreciation is actually insulting you. And fear, what is fear? Fear most often is imaginary, am I right? It is an illusion. It is a false belief, it is a delusion. Then what is courage? If fear is illusion, what is courage? Is there something like courage? The opposite side of fear? It is a cultivated attitude which opposes fear. There is nothing like courage, there is nothing like fear, both are illusionary. But we are calling fear as something negative and courage as something positive. For me, both are negative, even courage. If courage is also called as negative, then what is positive then? For me, something is at the meridian. When there is a spectrum, the pendulum oscillates from courage to fear, different degrees and depths. There is a meridian somewhere in between, which doesn't yield to either fear or courage, which is stable. That is called understanding. When we are fearful of something, what we do? We try to do the opposite. Bring courage, feel courage, all is well, all is well. We are taught to cultivate a new attitude, opposing attitude. So the more we oppose with something that is positive, there will be a binding back phenomena. The fear will chase you like a shadow. So what is to be done is understanding the nature of fear. Why we are fearful? Even if there is courage, is there any lifespan for this courage? Is it going to fade away? Is it going to die after some time? Does it have a T-half period? Yes, courage has got a lifespan. It has a T-half. It has limitation. So we need to understand our courage levels or fear level and strike the balance at understanding. Understanding is more important. See the two words, excitement and depression. People who get excited for any appreciation or whatever that they get, they have equal tendency to get depressed. Am I right? If you are very happy about what you get, objectively, that same person have got strong tendency to get depressed in the same degree and depth. A person who gets less excited, minimally excited for what he gets, the tendency to get depressed will be minimal. A person who does not excite at all for what he gets, there is no way that he will get depressed for anything, for what he loses. So, something in between this fear and courage, excitement and depression has to be explored. That is for me the truth. And we see living and dying, people who cross 60 years of age, you see suddenly there is a change in lifestyle. Suddenly they start morning walk, evening attendance at the gym, becoming member in laughter club. Why? Is it because of understanding for a new living or understanding for a freshness or rejuvenation? It is fear of death. Fear of death. Their new lifestyle is because of fear of death. So the fear of death is making the person more alive. It is not understanding that is making him more alive. In spirituality we say free will and destiny. What is free will? Choice, everything at any given point of time we have a choice to do anything. When we use the word destiny, everything is fixed, like a programming, computer programming. It cannot be changed. Everything is against free will. Everything is predestined or premeditated. So the free will and destiny both are wrong. So what is right then? It is choiceless awareness. We have a choice. At the same time we have no choice. This understanding is the true spirituality. We have two words, teacher and teachings. If you see the great spiritual leaders, the greatness of spiritual leader is measured by the size of their participants, size of their followers, size of the activities that they do, size of appreciation, or the size of their own personal image. The more the size of the image of the spiritual leader, the more will be the followers. The more it spreads to many countries, the more the size of the organization. What are we giving importance to? Is it to the teacher or teachings? Finally, it is teachings which are definitely more important than the teacher. We are not remembering our biology teacher. We are not remembering our physics teacher. We are not remembering our childhood teacher who taught us ABCD. But why are we placing so much of strength, energy to the teacher instead of teachings? If we place more importance to the teachings, the spiritual mafia by name of the spiritual organizations will fade away. The spiritual organizations are nothing but spiritual mafia, nothing else. Inculcating, forcing, imposing with great authority a belief system and projecting as if it is the destination, as if it is ultimate, as if that is a final. A path that is laid and just follow the path, which is a highway. And forcing the people to follow the highway and making them biological robots. Feeding their mind with a programmed set of spiritual belief system and calling them as masters or trainers or acharyas or whatever. What is that? Preceptors, mentors, whatever. We are not providing a perspective. We are not providing a scientific temper to our own followers or students to create their own way, to create the path of their own. But we are showing them a path which is already laid, well laid. The true spirituality is absolute.